Today, the Federal Reserve did what most people thought it would do, left its benchmark interest rate unchanged. The central bank cited, yes, you know what they cited, economic uncertainty, including potential impacts downstream from the war still going on with Iran. CBS's Richard Escobedo was at the Federal Reserve, and he joins me for the first time at the family table. Richard, great to have you here. What happened?
Well, the Fed...
We know nothing much happened. Explain why nothing much happened.
Nothing much happened, and people have been expecting this for a week, as you said. But the theme of today was uncertainty. No one really knows what's going to happen. By my count, the Fed chair mentioned the word uncertain or uncertainty at least 7 times over his hour-long press conference. And all that uncertainty is being fueled by this war in Iran that the U.S. started. But he said it's too soon to really assess what's going on, and it's really, unclear what the scope and duration of this is going to be. So it's going to take some time for the U.S. to be able to, or for the Fed, which has the top economists in the world, to be able to model this out. With the information that it has, this group of 12 Fed members, with this incredible data from their economists, said that inflation is likely to end the year higher than what they were predicting back in December. The Fed likes inflation about 2%.
Right.
They're expecting that by the end of this year, it will be at 2.7%. So that's about 0.3% higher than where they were at the end of 2025.
And there was an inflation print today that did not include any of the inflationary fuel prices or oil prices from the war with Iran that was also up and beat expectations on the high side. A
lot of these snapshots that you're seeing in the data over the last several weeks don't take that into account. And I asked,
and yet are still inflationary.
And are still inflationary.
It's still hot, which is of concern to the Fed.
And one of the things that I asked Fed Chair Powell about was the cost of diesel, because that factors into everything from the cost of food to the cost of the T-shirt you buy at Walmart. And I asked him, how big of a concern is this for you? And he said, right now, it's I want to make sure I get the language right, but he said it's a general concern, but there is fear that this spills over into sort of more baseline inflation. It's called core inflation, which takes out things that are more volatile, like food and energy, to things that are really affected right now by the war. And he said it's, again, it's uncertain, and it's ultimately going to take time to see how this affects the economy.
And what is the price point, market and otherwise, of uncertainty? The Dow was down today. All the indices were down, and oil prices, Brent and West Texas Intermediate, both up. Richard Escobedo, thank you very much. I appreciate it.